maybe just about this cosmopolitanism. Yes, I travel around too. I have seen lots of parts of the world. But I would not want to live at any part of the world as a tourist. That is something entirely different. I'm also in favor of free trade, as I made perfectly clear. So I'm in favor of globalization in the sense of, yes, of course, I'm glad that the division of labor expands throughout the entire world, that we can benefit from things that people do in faraway places, and that we contribute something to their life by doing what we do at our place. But the idea that people who are very different can live in peaceful relationships next door to each other, I think is an illusion, unless you always close your door and don't care about your neighbors at all.
Can I come back with one quick point on this? We have to look at the economics of a globalized world. Global companies like mine, we have 50 nationalities, they come from all the world. They become very similar very quickly, super quickly, if they have to fend for themselves and pay their lives for themselves. Google these places, they have nationalities. We need the whole world talent pool. And in London, all these various origins, they live close together with each other. And we move around, we have an origin, we have a place. I might be living in New York. So that's the world we live in. That's the world which empowers the prosperity potentials and not some kind of parochial community which wants to be homogeneous. They can, I'm not against it, but they won't.
But that was not my point.
Yeah, okay.
If people want to have that type of community, they are welcome to have that type of community. But people who don't want to have that type of community are currently forced to accept a type of community that they do not want.
Actually, shouldn't be any force, but why also we make a prediction, the kind of craving for homogeneous, local, this will not be viable. These communities, which vote for the Trumps and for the alt-right, they're actually not self-sustaining. They are the welfare recipients too, and I don't predict them to be prosperity engines. So I think it's a short-sighted craving for homogeneity, traditionalism, which is not going to deliver the world next prosperity stage.
If you look at all the world and see where the major conflicts are, where people kill each other, those are all multicultural societies. If you look at Switzerland, how did Switzerland solve this problem? By delegating most of the powers to the canton. They had a single canton, I think Jura or so, that was multilinguistic. They had terrorist acts there. Then they split the canton to create some sort of homogeneity. Look at all countries of the world, you will see whenever you have very different cultures, some sort of civil war situation exists.
Hans, a little add-on question. There are two regions that both of us know quite well, that is the Middle East and Austria-Hungary. And both seem to be cases in point that living together with different languages, religions, in the end doesn't work out. But then at the same time, it seems to be that it works out quite well. In the cities, in the harbors, in the centers like Vienna, like Izmir, Smyrna before, like Beirut. And wasn't it just nationalism and geopolitical interventionism that made all this powder cake explode? Or do you think there are some conditions under which this kind of conviviality is possible in the long run? Or do you think that it confirms your hypothesis that in the end it'll fail and have to fail?
No, but what I think, there will be, of course, places, especially big cities, where you have more multiculturalism, if you will, and you have other areas where you will have less of it. Even in the big cities, however, there was some sort of physical separation between the different groups. You do have Greek districts, Turkish districts, you have Czech districts, the German-speaking districts, and so forth, with some overlapping territories, but there has always been a voluntary separation. And of course, you are right that politics has aggravated the differences between them has made it more difficult for these people to get along. There's always a possibility that you incite hatred against one group in order to loot their property and so forth. Yes, in different locations, different arrangements are possible. But even in multicultural big cities, you can see, if you look on the micro level, you can see there is some separation with some overlaps. Also countries where they speak two languages, both groups speak the other language, but some people don't learn the language of their neighboring group. So it depends on the circumstances. The only thing that we have to attack is the idea of forced integration. And what we are suffering from is precisely forced integration. That people have told us, forced us, you must accept these people and you must also pay them. And you must pay them more than you pay those people that are already living here longer, to refer to Angela Merkel.